Moin, Servus, and welcome to day 6 in Italy. And if you guys want to know what you can do on your adventure bike after you have finished the ACT, then stay in the video.
Hey, Calimoto is the new adventure riders app apparently. I'm talking about contrasts as I did before already. How about this for contrast? Huh? It just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop.
So, good morning guys. I just did a quick walk to the beach and I'm gonna be honest, I hated every freaking meter of that. Well, it's 9 o'clock in the morning, they already have 31 degrees. I'm in my full gear. I desperately need some air. I desperately need some riding speed. Otherwise I will collapse here in a minute. Holy hell, it's warm. Oh, we can start out with a little bit of gravel here. Yeah, what is the plan for today? I'm intending to get as far as possible, but today on the street. I'm using Calimoto today as well.
I have some idea of the tour that I want to do. I tried to include larger roads, but it's always difficult to say just from the navigation system itself whether it's a larger road really or not. Because very often, as you have seen maybe in the video of day 5 of the ACT, showed one of these typical B roads of Italy. And they are very small and they can also quickly turn into gravel. So everything can happen today. I hope I will be able to travel a bit further than the last days in one day, since I'm riding purely on the street. I'm not intending to ride gravel, at least not on purpose. But if that will really work out, we'll see about that. I have 1,300 kilometers to go to get back home. I will not do that in one day, of course. I'll try to split it up into 2 days, maybe 2.5, something like that. I'll see about it. I just try to get as far as possible today, as said. And from there, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just winging it basically and see what happens. So if you're in for a different kind of adventure, then stay around, and I hope it will be interesting and there will be some interesting scenery as well. I mean, yes, the gravel riding and everything, totally valid point. But a street like this, through this tiny little valley here, along the Wine and everything, this, what else am I supposed to ask for? Just great. And we found another one of these interesting roads. And just have a look at that one. Awesome. Yeah. Even with Calimoto, you can have some interesting roads. So can we pass by here on the side? Yeah, that looks good. But I have to be honest, guys, with Calimoto, I don't know. Sometimes I just had the issue. I was wondering already why all of a sudden the cart material wasn't loading in the streets and everything. So why I was wondering, I usually have the offline cart material activated. For some reason Calimoto decided, well, yeah, offline material. Why should I keep it loaded? Why should I keep using it? So I had to stop the navigation, activate the off-limit cards, restart the track or the tour that I intended to ride, and now it loaded the complete tour on twisty roads instead of what I have done before. I have selected for certain stretches I don't want to have twisty roads there. I just wanted to have a straight or quick path through that. For example, around the Po River, since there it just doesn't make sense to look for twisty roads. It's just a hot area, everything is flat, you do not find any fun roads whatsoever. So yeah, now I'm stuck with that. And once I arrive there, I have to find out new points again, and I have to reorganize the trip once again. Yeah, in the end, Calimoto, I don't know if there's anything better than Calimoto available for finding twisty roads on like a short notice, let's say. But I can't say that I'm really happy with how it works. Since I'm on the rant about Calimoto, I can maybe continue right here. I mean, for me, this road is perfectly fine, of course. Don't misunderstand me. But if you're riding a regular street bike and this is the route that you're going down, then yeah, good luck, or more specifically, I wish you a lot of fun with that. Especially since the road that we just turned off from was the yellow street. Yeah, there are these white and yellow and what else colors for different types of roads. The yellow street continued here on this one, while the white street continued into the other direction, but as a two-lane street. And Calimoto, for some reason, hates these white-lined roads. It just doesn't want to go on it. It hates it like the plague. And you can see the exact example of that right here. Yeah, this is a white road, and the one we are on is a yellow road. And the white road is significantly better in condition than this white road. But because the yellow one continues here, and this is a white one, it just doesn't want to go down on it. And I should maybe use my rear brake to get going again. I can be wrong, guys, but I'm almost certain we were riding up there yesterday. I will try to figure that out, or we will see that by that village that might be right below. But I think we came out of the mountains from over there on the gravel tracks. Yeah, let's have a look if I'm correct or not. Yeah, Calasio. Yes. Yes, we've been here yesterday. What a coincidence. I didn't plan that, I didn't know that. So currently we're riding on the ACT, and from here we are leaving the ACT again. The ACT continues in that direction and we are moving here through the village. So this is also on the ACT. Yeah, we're riding here. We came from right there. Ah, yes, now I remember. Yeah. So in this corner we continued straight. Yep. And we will continue up here now. So when the bar is down or the bark is down, then you're not allowed to go through, but currently it's open. Okay. Nice. So I would say you can experience the spirit of the ACT without having to ride the ACT. If you just ride here through these mountain passes. And you still have incredible landscapes to look at and a fun ride as well.
So I'm just standing here in the middle of this plateau. That is the actual mountain tip, but there's this ridge going here along. And yeah, if the cars wouldn't be there, it would be perfect, of course, but hey, that's how it goes, right? But it still feels kind of surreal. Yeah, it's very strange feeling, but nice, strange feeling. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, I think the area just speaks for itself. Huh?
That was the right idea. I'm not getting any further today. And yeah, that's how it is. Just enjoying the landscape. I think tomorrow I really need to get some decent mileage in somehow. Because today I'm not getting any kilometers in here. Oh man. This is it. This kind of riding, eh? It's just I can do this all day, hour after hour after hour, and this bike is just doing it. These tires are doing it. I will be interested to see what the tire looks like later on, after this excessive amount of twisty riding here. But it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. This corner hunting, riding these twisty mountain roads, man oh man. I guess if this is absolutely not your thing, then this video is of course not for you. And then this is also not really an option for you as a rider after the ACT. I absolutely understand that. But for me this is really like a little, I don't know what's the word for it, like a reward? Yeah, I would say so. It's the reward after the ACT. Not that the ACT and finishing the ACT in itself is not also a reward, of course. A completely different story. But like getting down to this area in a very challenging manner, this is now my happy place and my comfort zone. Yeah, so the whole ACT riding was out of my comfort zone. Good thing, definitely, and I grew with that, and that gave me a lot of confidence, and I really enjoyed that. Don't misunderstand that, of course. But this year is like the Zen zone, sort of, where I can just, my head is switched off, nothing else exists, and I'm just in the moment. I'm riding, I don't think about anything, I don't, nothing else around me exists basically. The only other time where I really have a similar kind of situation is when I'm in the gym and I throw around some heavy weights and focus on that purely. That is a similar kind of attraction, but not with the same amount of adrenaline rush, of course, that this one gives me. So maybe you can understand that, or maybe you don't understand it, and for you it's just racing and not correct behavior on the street. I'm talking about contrasts as I did before already. How about this for contrast? Huh? Completely different story here. This is cool, man. Oh, this is like, yeah, like a natural spring, I guess. And yes, this of course also has absolutely its point and place and time. And it's just as interesting. So yeah, I would say this is maybe now more for the adventure rider interest, while the other one was more of a street rider interest. So I think we managed to do a very good balance of both sides so far. I've shown you some other streets where there was some, let's call it, interesting condition of the street, and I think this is not really different. Yep, so this will not be road racing. This kind of guy is exactly why I'm afraid of Italians riding on the street. Now he's kind of behaving, but before he was fully driving just through the lane, now the opposing lane. So I hope hope he stays on this road and turns to the right now, because I don't even want to overtake him, because you never know when these guys just move out to get through a corner or something like that. Perfect, so we move this way and he can use the full extent of that street by himself. Just had a very nice lunch, a relatively late lunch, but a nice lunch nonetheless. I almost forgot to eat some spaghetti while I was here in Italy, I noticed, so I just ticked that box. Ooh, this one is smelling quite a lot. Let's get past it. Yeah, so finally some spaghetti. And I did have a look at the tires. I will insert some pictures here, what they look like. So the rear tire really got, the rear tire really got a run for its money. You can really see that the rubber got hot on the outside. And in case I did run it somewhat flat here in Italy, either during the off-road parts or whatsoever, the rear tire now definitely is not flat in any shape, way or form. I would actually argue that the sides are more worn than the center part now. Yeah, that's a bit of the downside of the tire. You just don't have that much tread on the side and that much rubber. So of course you will notice that. That doesn't change though the fact that I'm still very impressed with this tire, especially on the street. As mentioned before, for mud it's not really ideal. But for everything I have encountered here in Italy so far, it's really the perfect tire for this kind of stuff. On some of these roads they just don't give anything. They just let everything grow and everything lay on the street and so on. I guess it's tricky to maintain all these small roads constantly, right, in the middle of nowhere, especially. They are probably not that much used on a regular basis. I mean, you can actually see it by the vegetation and so on, that they are not that used that often. And then for the few people living up here, we need to go that way. Yeah, okay. Just for these few people which may live here or travel on this road every once in a while. Yeah, exactly. Probably doesn't make that much sense. Okay, I missed the turn. How did I miss the turn? Okay, we're just gonna continue here. Was it actually that gravel track? Holy hell. Maybe, yeah. Maybe it was. I don't know. At least now we're back. I find these roads way more, let's call it, dangerous. Because if someone comes from the front, there's a decent chance that they will cross into your line. So that's where I'm also a bit more careful now. Okay. What is this about? Ah, it's just this short stretch, but okay. Hey, Calimoto is the new Adventure Riders app, apparently. Just, what the fuck? I'm not so sure if that pile of dirt was supposed to prevent people from entering this road. Yeah, that's exactly the case. Yeah, and as Italians are, they find a different route, but you're not supposed to go in here.
Okay. Yeah, then we will not continue. Then I will get around, and it looks like it looks pretty shit, to be honest. Maybe through that dirt track onto that lane, or can we enter it earlier? So I will go back, I will go along here, and then I will try to get over to that street here. Yeah, that seems to be the best idea. Yeah, I can just go down there. Yeah, I will just go down there. Okay, I guess that was the point of that pile of dirt over there, is that you should not enter. But you have seen how many people have tried to, or have gone over it already. Still can't believe this. There was also not even a sign anywhere. It was just like, yeah, this is how it is now. I should have guessed by this probably that it's not an official road anymore, right? Oh, then a little. Yeah, this should have been a good sign as well. Okay.
Was the junction where the other street would have ended up, and there was a sign telling me that I'm not allowed to ride in there, but not from the other side that I tried to enter. But this one seems to work, so let's continue then here on this one. This looks quite nice as well. Again, one of these slightly wider roads, but not the best condition, so we do it a bit more gentle. And Italy keeps giving and giving and giving. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do when I'm back home. The streets will be so boring. But this is and the view. The area really. Wow.
So guys, standing here for like 5 minutes, nobody comes across, and I want to start recording. All of a sudden there's one car after another passing by. That's just how it goes. Yeah, I will call it a day, at least for the interesting riding. I will just try to make some distance now and gain some distance roughly to the start of the ACT day 1. Just so that later on I know how much distance I still need to travel, and then I can afford to get into the Brenner area and also off the main streets, let's say, and have some fun there as well. I hope you enjoyed this different kind of video. It was purely street riding, admittedly, but I think there was still some adventuring in it and some interesting situations. So if you enjoyed it and you may get an idea for what you can do after the ACT, maybe that's already what you wanted to do anyway, that's fine by me as well. But nonetheless, maybe give or consider giving me a thumbs up, give us a comment maybe even, and if you really dare, you may even subscribe. And until then, see you in the next video.